Hello everyone and welcome to Hill Street. Today's story is, I used to fish in my spare time. I don't anymore. By Supercell X. If you end up enjoying this story, please leave a like. And if you enjoy hearing stories from me, please subscribe and become a resident of Hill Street and let me know how I'm doing in the comments. Now, let's get to this nightmare. Every night I lie awake, remembering that day. I drink and drink, yet the memories will not fade. I don't think I can go on. But something tells me that what I have learned should not be forgotten, that the information would be invaluable to someone. So with what time I have left, I'll tell you my story. I used to be a fisherman. I also worked alone, figured it was a good way to get money, and it was something I could do alone. One night, I was staring out at the ocean horizon, letting the waves push my boat back and forth. The ocean was calm, with barely any wind to speak of. I stood peering off the edge of my boat, into the endless and vast seascape in front of me. Something about that always used to calm me. I think it helped to put things in perspective. When confronted with the sheer size of something like the ocean, it makes you feel small in terms of the sheer size of it all. But as I was staring out into the vast, endless expanse of water, something strange happened. A fish threw itself out of the water and onto my boat. That in and of itself isn't that strange. Fish sometimes do that to get away from predators. The weird thing about it is the black ooze pouring out of its mouth and gills. I stared at it, confused at the strange black liquid. I took my knife and poked at it. As I did, the fish moved slightly, and the black slime started bubbling out of the hole in the side of the thing. I stepped back, and the black liquid shot out and nearly hit me. After it stopped pulsing out the black goo, I examined it. The fish was partly eaten, a bite taken out of its side where the vicious fluid now poured from. The bite in question was perfectly circular. Usually to see something like that, after years of surrounding myself in nature, both in the woods and in the ocean, I can tell you that perfection isn't in nature's skill set. I grabbed the fish by its tail and tossed it back into the water. I didn't want anything like that on my boat. After I tossed the fish back to where it came from, I watched it float there, just resting on the waves as if it was a ball in a wave pool. I stared at it, waiting for something. I couldn't tell you what I was waiting for, but I was with more than a little excitement. I don't know why, but at the moment, the idea of watching something take the fish was the most exciting thing I could think of. I stared and stared, and what seemed like hours, until something finally happened. A second fish rose to the surface. A larger bite is taken from it. Suddenly a third, with its entire head missing. More and more start floating to the surface. The entire area is covered in dead and dismembered fish, all leaking the same black fluid from their wounds. As I stared in horror and confusion at the mass of fish surrounding me, I noticed a spot in the water, near completely devoid of fish corpse. A wave of dread washes over me as I watch the spot. The part of water begins to enlarge. Bigger and bigger it gets. Inside the hole of dark black water, I see light. I look into the orange yellowish light, and it moves. It's an eye. It looks through me, into my soul. I didn't notice before, but the waves start to pick up. The waves crash into my boat, shaking the entire thing and sending black inky water into my boat. The spot around the giant eye is still, impossibly still. The thin line of water on my boat starts to coagulate. It turns into a blackish slime and starts to move on its own. Little worms begin to form from the slime, and they stand up straight and drill downwards through my boat. I can't move. A strange noise starts, like a bell tower, but off somehow. The sound had to be coming from the eye. Soon the rain started, but not like anything I've ever seen. The same black fluid began to fall from the sky, and the worms kept forming and drilling through my boat. The water wraps around my shins. I'm sinking, and I can't do anything to save myself. I can feel the worms crawling on my skin. I can't even swat them off. Even if I could move to do so, they're coming in faster than I would be to. Small tendrils rise from the ocean, made from the worms that fell from the sky. They land on my boat, wrapping themselves around it. More and more of the tendrils rise from the water and then fall onto the boat, holding tightly onto it. Soon after many moments, they start to pull. They pull with a force downwards into the depths. Water begins to pour over the lip of the boat, and my body is slammed with water. I still can't move as the water engulfed me, up to my stomach, then my chest, then my neck, and soon over my head. I try to hold my breath as I sink further down, but my lungs give out immediately. I take a gulp of water, and another, and another. As I panic, I see in front of me, the eye sits still, staring at me. But now I can see it fully. It's gigantic in size, bigger than my brain can even fathom possible. Soon, either from sheer shock or oxygen deprivation, I pass out. I woke up somewhere on the shoreline as the sun rose, still covered in the black liquid, and cough out even more of it. I may have woken up and survived. At the moment, I was happy to have lived, to have bested the beast that attacked me. But no, I have not beaten it. My survival is what it wanted. As I sit here writing this, I can feel them. The worms wriggling inside my body. Every part of me is infested with them. Even at this very moment, I can feel them squirming behind my eyes. Every moment I feel more of myself being eaten from the inside out. I'm writing this now, for soon I may not have eyes to see the keys to type with. I used to enjoy the ocean. I dreamed of being a pirate as a child. But now my dream has rotted away, leaving me hollow and empty. That thing is out there still, waiting for its next victim. I know I'm not its first, nor will I be its last.